Nick, the truth of the matter is this. Yonda's no longer there. He's not walking in that door. He's retired. Ronnie Stanley, he's done for this season. The receivers, they've not been great. You don't have Hayden Hurst anymore. You also have a defensive coordinator set around the league that seem to know what your offensive coordinator has designed. Lamar has a lot going against him, and just to face in Pittsburgh the 10-0 Steelers with that defense swarming seems like it's a mountain. You add in the COVID stuff, that he doesn't have Mark Ingram, doesn't have J.K. Dobbins. This is where the MVP needs to step up. Like, this is what it is. This is the NFL sometimes, where you're like, but I have this going on, this going on, this going on. This was the most valuable player and the #1 player on the NFL 100 last year. You know, I know it's hard. I know there's a lot of things going on against you. There are very few supporters of Lamar Jackson in the media right now. There are very few believers. I'm not sure one of us at the table is a believer. There's 4 of us. I don't know if I am. Nate, I don't know if you are. Okay, Kyle, I don't know. Just show us. Go and
find a way to win.
Herculean effort. Find a way. You were the best player in football last year. Find a way. National TV. Shut us up. Friday morning, I want to come in, and I want my son to be wearing that Lamar jersey.
Right. First they love you, then they criticize you, then they love you again. And that's where they're at right now. I want to see this team play well on all 3 phases. I want there to be an offensive game that's just as good as a defensive game and a special teams game plan that actually complements both. We saw games this year where the defense played well, and it doesn't necessarily match up to what the offense is doing. Peter, you said it. There's games where he looks good throwing the ball, and they don't win. And then there's games where he's been wildly inconsistent and they just drop the ball. For me, when it comes to Lamar Jackson, I said this last week, and I'm going to continue to say it. I want Lamar Jackson to take over a game. And Kyle, you brought it up when we were talking about this a few weeks ago. Be the MVP. Be the guy that everybody voted you to be. And what do I mean by that? Late moments in the game, Lamar's dropping back. There's gaps to run, and I know they have a spy, and it's easy for me sitting down as a retired player to say, Lamar, tuck it and run it. He might see something different out there on the field. But if you're LeBron James, it's okay for people to want you to take the last shot. When Jordan had the ball in his hand, he didn't hesitate. When Kobe, rest in peace, had the ball, he didn't hesitate. Lamar, I know that there's a game plan, and you have to call a play and then look for the wide receivers and then sometimes throw it away. I feel like last year you just took over games. I feel like there was screw it, I'll do it myself. And I feel like you should do that now. In the moments of the game that mattered this past weekend, you were sitting back, patting the ball, you go through your progressions, you run around, and then you throw it out. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see you do something amazing. I'd rather see you run past a guy, shake a guy, jump over him if you have to. You have that type of talent. And speaking from a guy who's been there, there's a moment where you won't be able to run as fast, jump as high, and shake dudes like you can. So why are you holding back? I feel like he's more reserved than he's ever been. You know, quarterbacks get to a point where they get the praise, and maybe they're searching for the money, and then all of a sudden they're like, all right, I'm not going to be as reckless as I used to. Josh Allen went through that. Yeah. And then there's times where Josh Allen's like, you know what? I'm the fastest, strongest, most athletic dude on the field. Let me just take over a game. Kyler Murray was reserved last year. This year, it seems like he looked in the mirror and was like, you know what? I'm tired of being a Cub. I'm going to be a damn lion out there on the field. And he's been dominating. So Lamar Jackson, just like I said last week, I'm going to need you to, in moments of the game, even when you see a guy open for 5 yards, run for 30. Even if you feel like you can make a 15-yard completion, run for 50. You're that talented. I mean, that's what an MVP would do. And that's what a guy that wants to put the team on his back would do. I feel like he has that type of talent. The pressure is on Lamar. He's an exceptional talent. When you don't use it, it's a waste.
If not now, when? Is this Lamar's Waterloo? Listen, Michael was down 2-0 to the Knicks. LeBron was down 3-1 to the Warriors. They said, no, enough of this crap. Let's go.
Yeah.
Here's the facts. It's not ideal. It doesn't look great for the Ravens. A lot of things working against them, but that sometimes is the best thing. If they were at full strength, they beat the Steelers, good for them. If they beat the Steelers like this, it's like, look the hell out. The players are hurt or they tested positive. The Ravens are underdogs for the first time all season. If they lose this game, they'll be mathematically eliminated from the AFC North crown, which is sitting on their head right now. Lamar can't play against the Steelers. Lamar can't play
Titans, Chiefs.
Period. Mark Andrews, quote, everybody's giving up on us, and that's fine. I don't know if it is fine. Maybe it's absolutely perfect. When Peter starts coming up for a huge game and playing the 2019 footage, that's not good, because that 2019 footage, welcome to the next year of your life. Maybe the next 50 years of your life. Remember that one incredible season? You guys really had a party that year. The hell with all that. You're down, you're hurt. If you flip the table and you beat Pittsburgh, holy crap, this is the win of the season. Now we're in control. Now we're in the driver's seat. Now you're the damn captain. This is so big.
Yeah.
I actually think it works for them in their head that they're hurt and they're bleeding, because if they land the overhand right on the Steelers and knock them out, shock and awe, and they can still go the distance.
Love it. Shregs, I like your point about how nobody's believing in them, because I didn't agree with that going into this conversation. You have so many connections to Baltimore. I have very few, but I imagine if I'm a Ravens fan, a player, a coach, someone from Baltimore, I see this as a game we're going to win.
Wow.
That first game against Pittsburgh, let's just be honest. I imagine if I'm a Ravens fan, I feel like they gave Pittsburgh a win. They were up 10 at half, turned the ball over 4 times, and gave the game away. Don't you feel like, I have that feeling after I saw that game, like, I bet you Ravens fans think round 2 they'll be able to beat them, even if it is away from home. Do you think that there's... Do you know what I'm saying?
Gonna be with
it wasn't a game like a dominant win by the Steelers. Like the Ravens turned the ball over 4 times. But they were up.
That's the problem. They were up 11 last week in the second half to the Titans, and they gave it away. It's like we need to get over the hump, and I think a lot of Ravens fans are very frustrated with this team, more than like positive. We could still do this. Like they're not losing with the Ravens' faith yet, but it's at that point where they're like, gosh, they're giving these games away.
They let it slip away, exactly. Rectify that, get yourself back into the playoff picture. You brought up the COVID-19 issues with the Ravens. Let's get some more information on that right now. Ian Rappaport joining us. Rapshi, the Ravens have been dealing with it all week long. What is the latest with the Ravens and COVID-19?
That's right. They've had several positive tests for players and for staff members over the course of the week, including most notably 2 of their key offensive weapons, J.K. Dobbins, who really has emerged as the lead back for the Baltimore Ravens over the last couple of weeks. He is out on Thursday night because he tested positive for COVID-19. Same with Mark Ingram, his sidekick now, who has been the complimentary back. So both those guys are not going to play. Brandon Williams also not going to play. There's a couple others who, of course, we'll be getting to, and they will come to light maybe potentially today or certainly by tomorrow, and some staff members as well. Meanwhile, the Ravens are scheduled to fly to Pittsburgh. At this point, they're scheduled to fly later today. My understanding is one thing in consideration is they could actually fly day of game to let the situation calm down, to get more information, to get more contact tracing, to just get everything you need to know about who possibly could be at risk here. The game, as of right now, is still on. No one has guaranteed anything. Everything is fluid in the land of COVID. But as of now, the game is still on and potentially looking to fly day of. It's a night game. It's a short flight. It's not ideal, but nothing's ideal in 2020, so whatever.
No, I bet your Thanksgiving will be pretty ideal, though. Give me the Ian Rappaport. Like, what is the meal? What is your contribution to the dinner table? I imagine something in a smoker.
We're making twice baked potatoes, and we're making some bread / muffins or whatever. Biscuits, I guess you'd say.
Bread
biscuits.
/
And then we're having a smoked
This is the guy
turkey.
who prides himself on, like,
I thought you were like Mr. Like, let me make a rub from scratch and like the Traeger grill stuff. No, not happening?
Muffin.
You're not smoking
I'm
anything?
not bitter about it, but the opportunity to smoke the turkey was presented, and my lovely wife Leah, who's always right, decided as a family it was best to focus on the sides. So I fully supported that decision, and I stand by it.
No, don't look down. Leah can do no, I'm a sides girl. I don't need any